I just feel so blessed that we are still surviving and we are still thriving.
Trying to maintain a reputation and keeping it going alive and still being relevant. I mean, we're all custodians of the Singapore food heritage, right?
They show that, oh, you own this business, you drive a luxury car, you stay in a big house, but actually
Is it not true?
it's not true. It's not true, especially in Singapore.
Yeah, I always tell new people who want to start F&B, like, think twice.
Running an F&B business is never easy. There's long hours, managing costs and staff, and making sure customers keep coming back. So for my guests today on The Usual Place, they grew up watching their parents and older relatives pour everything into their business. Now they have stepped up into continuing that legacy. But what are the challenges their generation faces? Today, I have Maria Didih, the head of operations at Hjh Maimunah, and Ernest Ting, the director of Swee Choon Dim Sum, to answer that question. Hi, welcome to the show, guys.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. So, for our viewers today, I just want to tell them, Maria, you're the second generation owner of Hjh Maimunah, and you run it with your siblings, two other sisters, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Ernest, you grew up watching your uncle, but actually you're a third generation owner of Swee Choon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, I want to kick off this episode by asking you this question. So we've read a lot about F&B businesses closing down in 2024. So that's last year, right? And the number I have is there were about 3,000 F&B closures. But okay, and that's a 20-year record high. But also there were also like around 4,000 new eateries that opened. When you read or hear of these like restaurant closures or F&B closures, right? What goes through your mind when you hear about it?
Wow. I mean, it's of course quite scary to hear all these numbers and how, of course, when the media portrays about these stories about F&B closing and opening, but I think it's not new, something F&B closing and opening. I think it has been like that for pretty much the last couple of years. We've seen F&B come and go. But yeah, I think for us, it's just more of feeling blessed that we still have a business to run, we still have a family business with heritage to carry on. We still got customers coming to enjoy our food, right? And yeah, and just pretty much be.
Maria, does it scare you when you hear the numbers of closures?
For me, I honestly, I just feel so blessed that we are still surviving and we are still thriving. For me, but of course, we cannot be complacent about it. We need to continue on to be innovative and persevere. Yeah.
Do you all think like the heritage name actually plays a part in your staying power? Because Swee Choon has been open for how many years now?
This is our 63rd year.
Oh, long
since
time.
1962, yeah.
Okay. Oh, even before Singapore became independent?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Hjh Maimunah has been around since
1992.
Okay. So why do you think the heritage name actually lends to the staying power that in the industry?
I mean, part of it, because I feel that a lot of people know our restaurant for so long, but I don't think that is the main thing. I feel that it's more to that. It's more to us being creative and keeping up with the times. Yeah, it's not just the name. Yeah. Basically, it's not mainly that I feel.
Yeah, I completely agree with Maria. I think having operating for 6 years doesn't mean that it will go on for forever, right? You cannot take things for granted, and I think for us, it's more about still maintaining the quality of the food, the whole experience, and staying relevant to the younger generations that we managed to keep alive, and people still coming back to us, right? I think Singaporeans really know how to eat, right? So our food better be of decent quality, otherwise you'll lose all these recurring customers, and I think in F&B we cannot just be doing one-time customers. We have to be doing recurring customers, especially in our segment where it's more casual dining. We need recurring customers to come back and enjoy our food.
Probably last time, right? Our grandparents or our parents, they probably like eating at our restaurants, but doesn't mean that the younger generation, they would want to go.
What is the hardest part about running an F&B business in Singapore that, people, and what are some misconceptions that people might have of the industry, you think?
I feel like it's more to like now, social media, they show that, oh, you own this business, you drive a luxury car, you stay in a big house. But actually,
Is it not true?
it's not true. It's not true, especially in Singapore. Because for people who want to open a cafe, they have this idea of it's going to be viral, but you have to put a lot of work into it. You have to know your audience. Like if you open a cafe, you need to be creative in your menu. You need to source out manpower. You have to do a lot of marketing. So it's not that easy. Yeah. And opening a business, right, can easily say more than 15K or even more than that. Yeah, and then the manpower, if you open a restaurant, you need to at least have probably 10 to 15 people. So how are you going to find? And then how are you going to maintain? Yeah.
I feel your stress coming out.
Yeah, stress maybe.
Yeah. Ernest, do you have a different answer to Maria? Is there some misconception that maybe new F&B owners might not realize?
I got to completely agree with what you say actually about the idea is nice, right? All of us grow up thinking, wow, it's nice to own a cafe or own a restaurant. The passion is there, but when reality hits about when you have to find staff, pay salaries, find customers, and you have to multitask and do a lot of things in the restaurant, right? And the stresses are different, and when stresses hits you, and that kinds of, I think it's a different kind of stress from many other things that people don't realize in the corporate job, right? And it's very real. And so when the idea can be nice initially, but the passion can die out after a while when all these stress start coming into you. And it's not about the first 3 to 6 months. I think a lot of new F&B we see, right? They open 3 to 6 months, they get very viral, long queues and everything like that. But after that, right? What's going to happen? How do you sustain beyond 6 months, right? When the initial hype dies down. And I also think Singaporeans are not very loyal customers, I got to say. So whenever
Singapore wants to try new things.
they like to try new things, right?
Yeah.
So when they see,
Why are we like that, guys?
It's fun, right? To try
it's
new
fun.
things.
I'm like that myself, right? So they hop around.
Hey, actually, no, I'm very loyal. I can eat the same thing at the same place all the time.
I feel like our generation is loyal.
Oh, okay. So
But then-
you're talking about even younger.
Yeah.
Okay, for the record, I'm not that old. But Maria, you and I are the same age, by the way.
I
but-
always feel like I'm old.
Yeah, okay, that's an interesting thought. But interesting that you mentioned like growing up, right? Because both of you have watched your older relatives or your parents actually do this, and you see them stressing out over like paying staff, managing costs and everything. What made you say yes to doing this? Like taking on, right? Yeah.
I think for me, I think we got to count ourselves a bit lucky as third generation because, the first and second gen did all the hard work, right? From zero to where we are today is not fun at all, right? What they've been through for the last 50 years. And, when I come in, it's more of, how do I grow the business? It's a different set of problem altogether, right? We have an ongoing business. We're quite blessed to, still have loyal customers, we still have queues in Jalan Besar, right? But now my challenge is a bit different, right? And, having to roll up my sleeve, like I see my uncle, when there's not enough staff, he goes behind to help to wash cups. He always jokes when his friend come and find him in the restaurant, he said, I can't find you. My uncle said, no, you must go to behind. I'm in the dishwashing area. I'm over there washing cups, right? So this kind of thing, we see them do it. But of course, when I decided to come in, I have different thoughts about how you want to structure the business differently, how you want to organize things a bit differently to scale it. So I think it's a different kind of mindset altogether, right? I'm prepared to roll up my sleeve and get down dirty to do all these kind of things, but it's not going to be a long-term thing for me, right? So it's not scalable, right? As we want to go more outlets and stuff like that. Yeah. So if I come in the mentality and I want to scale the business, I think that's how I see it. Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, like naturally, right? naturally I go into the business not because my mom forced me. So for me, it's like I'm a bit different because I do hands-on and roll up my sleeve and like help
You're
cook,
serving, you're washing,
serving,
you're
washing. Because
seating people.
I've been working since I think when I'm 7, I already become a waiter and then do the cashiering and all that. For me, it's more to a natural thing that I step into the business, and then I do go through the hardship at first because we grow together with the business. So yeah lah, it's a natural thing for me to like take over the business.
And you run this with your two other
With-
sisters, right?
Yes.
Okay.
With my 2 other sisters.
And they've always been in the business with you. As
for
in growing
my
up as kids, they've also been.
I think for my younger sister, she because she's 10 years difference with me and my other siblings, so she don't really experience that. She don't really experience the hands-on dishwash. We do the dishwashing, we cut the vegetables and all that. Yeah, so for her, it's a bit different.
Sounds like me.
She's the third generation. Third generation. But when you're now as adults, right? And then you're like, okay, I mean, for Maria, you see as a natural progression. But generally, were there any reservations about going into a family business that has such a long legacy? Like, were you concerned about anything when you and your sisters took over?
My mindset is more to we need to grow the business because this is our rice bowl. Yeah, so we need to do something. We need to make sure that our business maintain and sustain throughout. Yeah, so it's never been like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore, or I want to try something else. Yeah.
So when you say grow the business, is this like expanding, like outlets?
Yeah, expanding and make new things according to like people's behavior. Because I think after COVID, right, there's a lot of things change. Like people don't go out as much. They prefer deliveries. Yeah, so I think after COVID, a lot of things changed to the point where like my mom, she's very concerned like why we don't have queue and all that. But actually we do have the delivery sign.
It's non-stop, ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Ernest, for you, what was the thing that convinced you to join Swee Choon?
I always thought it was, I mean, I studied finance in my undergrad, and I didn't like it at all.
All right, that's a whole other episode about choosing the wrong path. Okay, it's not wrong, it's just that you just didn't like it.
Yeah, it's more of like, I mean, growing up, I'm never the kind who like to study, apart from, very different from my siblings, right? But, you know, you have to go uni, do the typical thing, get a professional degree, right? So I just go ahead and do it, right? And yeah, so after I graduated, I started a business because I really didn't want to go into a corporate job. During my internship, I was like, nah, I'm not cut out for this, right?
Where was your internship at?
I did an internship in EY. It's an accounting firm. So I didn't enjoy it at all.
And that convinced you didn't want a corporate job?
Yes. So, and back then when I was studying in London, there was this coffee subscription thing that I subscribed to every day. And when I came back to Singapore, I was like, hey, this is quite a novel idea because there's no one in Singapore actually doing coffee deliveries, right? People are opening cafes and bring people to cafes, but getting deliveries of coffees to go back to their home and teaching people how to brew their own coffee at home, that was something very novel then. So I started the business and it was fun. I'm a very hands-on person, but I sold it after 5 years running it. Then I think my uncle is getting a bit older as well. He wants to retire, so he's looking for succession, someone to take over the business. So
Why did he pick you?
The chosen one.
Yeah, that's why. You have cousins, right? Or he has kids?
He doesn't have kids.
Okay.
I have a lot of cousins, but they all are professions in their own field.
Okay.
Like they're
And
lawyers,
then you make eye
doctors.
contact with him and he's like, it's you.
I think naturally also because since young, when I was really young, right, I thought it's very fun to go and help out in the shop. So I'll go.
So you became the favorite lah.
Yeah, I don't know favorite or not lah, but
You always help out.
He's like he's got the you know the character to do this lah, like to
maybe
be in the restaurant.
But none of my other cousins actually went into to help out during like school holidays or what. So I thought it was very fun. But no one else thought it was fun. Okay, maybe it was just me, right? Very itchy, going there, sort of thing. So naturally, when I grew up, next in line, someone who is more business-minded, I guess. That's why I came next in line, yeah.
If they didn't, for Swee Choon, if your uncle didn't find a successor, would he have sold the business actually?
Wow.
Was there a conversation that ever came up?
I don't think there was a conversation about that at about that point of time yet. Yeah.
And that's when you stepped in, lah.
That's when I stepped in, tried out the business, and yeah, just grew.
How many years has it been already?
I joined in 2018, so now it's what, almost 7 years. Yeah.
So both of you were in your 20s then when... Okay, well, you've been there since you were 7 and then you were there
I
since you
formally
were...
joined in 2018.
Yeah, so you were in your 20s at that time,
I was in
right?
my 20s, yeah.
What was the challenge of, I don't know, maybe getting your mom to like listen to you and your sisters make changes to the business, and then your suggestions of like, what was something to expand the business? So when you're telling the older generation that you want to do this, what was the reaction you're getting?
A lot of resistance lah. At least, I mean, for me, there's a lot of resistance. But we have to do a lot of convincing with our parents, especially when we want to be creative and have new ideas. Yeah. So for her, she's very... this one, I guess, is an older people thing. They like to micromanage. Yeah, because... I mean, that's good and bad because they want to make sure that the quality and our customers, they have good experience. Of course, we want that as well. But if we micromanage every single thing, it's going to be hard to, grow. Yeah, so there's a lot of convincing to do.
Yeah, it's true. Management style is very different, like how I manage the staff and how my uncle managed the staff. Again, micromanaging different. And I think the new generation of staff that works, so they are very different. If you micromanage them too much, they will not want to work with you.
Yeah.
Right. So I think some sort of differences that we see with my the earlier generation who manages the business. Yeah.
Now it's more to like we have to trust that they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in your staff, that they
our
would just
staff.
leave them to it versus your mom might be just watching them a bit more, is it?
Also, I guess SOP also plays a big part because we want them to do as simple as possible. That's why for us, like in our restaurants, like the traditional way have to cook for so long and all that, we cut down by making paste. And then so that paste, right, if we don't have a chef to do it, we can train people to do it. So they just need to put the paste and then with water and then just cook it. So we don't really need to have, you don't really need to have a chef to do it. Yeah.
So you mentioned staff, right? And you guys are coming in as the younger generation. So maybe they work with, do you have very long time staff with you? Like maybe from your mom's era, still with your as well, and from your grandparents or maybe your uncle's era, right?
Yep.
How do they react to you as the boss now?
For me, because I grew up with them, they've seen me since like I'm 8-9 years old. So it's like family. They will see me like as their own daughter. So even when like I tell them certain things like, oh, you have to wear gloves or you have to wear, because they have this tendency to not use gloves or maybe not wearing mask because it's like a new thing, right? So,
this came out of COVID, right?
Yeah. So I mean they are okay. Yeah, they are okay with us telling them. Yeah. It's like a mother-daughter thing. Yeah.
So they also see you as their kid
Yeah.
because they've like been with you for so long as well.
Yeah.
Ernest?
Yeah, we have staff like that. I think staff who have worked for us for 25 years, 30 years, they're still in the business. They really saw me grow up from a young boy, right, up to today. But it's like what Maria said, we're all quite family. I mean, it's a family business. We gather together all the time, like as part of a family, right, together for stuff. So I think it's this bond and connection that we have built with them over time that, enables them to trust us, right? And also, I think this older staff, they find it refreshing for new management to come in, right? New ideas. Sometimes they get excited as well, right? that, you know, the ideas I bring to the table a bit different, you know, younger. They're also quite excited because, I mean, my uncle's been managing the business for the last, 30 years, 40 years, and things has been pretty much like that, right? So when I come in, I of course got crazy ideas, and I think
What was a crazy idea in the business?
I mean, not really crazy, but of course doing things that previously we never do, right? Like, you know, new collaborations, like even opening new outlets or opening central kitchen. So now they're even happy that, you know, you have new outlets for them to aspire to be managers to go to be at, right? Last time they just start at one shop, like there's no way they can move anywhere, right? So now some of them has the opportunity to be a manager at a new outlet. Some of them has transferred to our central kitchen to work. So there are a lot of opportunities for them. So they are so excited that, you know, the younger generation comes in, new changes.
Actually, they are very like genuinely happy for us because some of like our staff also same 25 years with us. They will go to our new outlets and then they will just take video. Hey, I go to this
correct.
outlet. Yeah, so happy. Yeah, they are really like genuinely happy. So it's like,
It's nice, yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Is there a hard part about running a business with a legacy? Because it comes with a lot of stories and there's a lot riding on it. So for y'all, what is the hard part about running a legacy business?
I think maintaining the reputation, the brand. We run the business for 6 decades, right? And fed 3 generations of Singaporeans. So it's trying to maintain a reputation and, you know, keeping it going alive and still being relevant. I mean, we're all, I was thinking we're all custodians of the Singapore food heritage, right? I mean, we grew up with Singapore literally, right? Our see how we adjust, even our menu and food, everything. Even though dim sum is not a Singapore thing, but over time, you know, we kind of adjust to what Singaporeans like, right?
Sort of become like Singapore, our comfort food.
Yeah,
also.
correct. Sort of comfort food and becomes almost like it's almost like our cuisine already, right? Even though it's not from Singapore, but of course, how we evolve over time. And I think preserving that heritage, you know, but constantly still innovating some new ideas. I think that's a part that, you know, can be quite stressful sometimes, right? Because, you know, I have a lot of ideas. I want to do things, but pulling back to where we are, to not going too far off, what our actual core values are in the brand. Yeah.
Actually, I want to ask Maria, because a lot of nasi padang is very heritage recipes, right? Like it's what you say, it's comfort food and people love, they know it in their head. It's like rendang is this. Like, do you worry about being too experimental with, I mean, if you have new dishes, do you worry about, you know, being too far out from what people deem as comfort food?
I mean, so far we never do that before. But we do collaborations. Like example, like with Hjh, right? We did a collaboration with them. We have our rendang and they have their nasi goreng or turmeric nasi goreng. So we just collaborate, but we don't go too far from what we have because that is like our main attraction. Yeah. So for us, it's more to like our nasi padang is really like the main thing that we sell. So I mean, we are always open to like collaborations with people, but for ourselves, making new or tweaking something is for us is we tweak to Singaporeans' taste buds, but we don't go far off from that. Yeah.
So when you came in, you didn't want to have like a new dish, like to redefine something as, you know, my generation created this dish kind of thing.
New dish, of course, we do try. But if like we do like those fusion, no, we don't really do fusions.
You're staying true to the heritage of it. Okay.
Because sometimes we go to overseas and we go to Indonesia in particular, then we see some other dishes that within their nasi padang. So we will try. We will try to do it and see whether Singaporeans, they love it. So we did a few things, but then we can see that sometimes it's not Singaporeans' taste buds.
Oh, like what?
There was this, what is it called? I forgot what's the name, but it is a bit stinky.
Oh, what is in the dish?
It's like you know the banana, the like we call it jantung pisang.
Is this the bigger one?
The how to say it? It's called jantung pisang. I don't know how to say it, but not a lot of people know how to eat it, and not a lot of people like it. So when we sell it, probably 1 or 2 people, like really Indonesian. Yeah.
So they will recognize it and they're
They
like,
will
oh, this is the. But okay, but how do you eat it?
Just eat it like normal.
Oh, okay, but as in
like
you mean
it's a curry type of dish.
oh, but you mean the taste might not be for everybody?
Yeah.
Because it's a bit ripe.
It's a bit like bitter, yeah, that kind of thing.
So not everybody here might. Not Singaporeans may not like it very much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ernest, have you tried to be experimental with the dim sum? Because I've seen random ones lah, like random flavors and like but
Once in a while, we have like, I mean, during the mala trend, we did have mala siu mai, mala xiao long bao. Then during National Day, we have chili crab, xiao long bao, chili crab, liu sha bao. But nothing too crazy and fusion. I think these are flavors that we are familiar with, and we play around with that to infuse our dim sum. But they're all quite seasonal, so we don't put it permanent on the menu. The menu still pretty much remains, the core items remains the same, especially the dim sum items. Yeah.
every day you have to see them. Then siblings fight a bit differently also from like, let's say with your colleagues or whatever, right? Then how? Because they are your siblings and your colleagues, right? So what's it like working with family?
Wow, I mean, it's very hard to separate, right? Family and business. But for me, right, working with my siblings, it's like just working at home. Like it's like whenever we go to our restaurant, it's like we are at home also. So
Do you
sometimes we
live
fight.
together?
We lived together last time, but
okay.
now we have kids, right? So we are not together. But I mean, the feeling is the same. We fight, normal, we fight. But then after that, we are okay. You know, sometimes as siblings, so we never even say sorry. But then after that, we okay already. You know, yeah. So for us, it's like we have like one vision, which is to persevere the legacy and to continue on and to maintain the business. So that is basically our vision. But all the fights and all that is like, I mean, siblings fight. Yeah, until now it's like that.
What are you fighting about?
Sometimes, like example, my sister have this idea. I don't agree. Then because operation wise, it's a bit hard. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's like this kind of fights lah.
And Ernest, for you, you're working with your uncle. He's an elder man. Then do you have to defer to him, or you're like, no, I'm the boss now. You gotta listen to me.
I mean, initially when I came into the business, I have to learn from him lah. But after a while, I think my uncle also tried to let go a little bit more. I think the more you try to hold back what I want to do, it's get tough lah, right? Then we have little arguments about different ideas and stuff like that. So I always tell him, just trust. I will do what is best for the business. Ultimately, it's a family business. I want to keep this heritage alive, right? And just learn to trust, and I will do my best lah, right? And I think over time he has learned to let go a little bit more, and I think now pretty much I in the driver's seat now, so it's easier to manage the business when you have not so many voices in the business and not many people to account to. I'll just have to report to them on the figures and everything on a quarterly basis, any major issues. But on the day-to-day, he pretty much leave it to me to run it, which I'm thankful for lah. Otherwise, it can be quite difficult to move things. Yeah.
So now does he ask you for your opinion on stuff, or how have the dynamics changed because now you're in charge?
He will just ask for updates. I think
He
pretty
say,
much.
hey, why this month so little?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they flag out something from the P&L, he will ask, then I just explain to him. He will never completely let go, so he still use the iPad, see the CCTV every day. That's his hobby lah now.
What was he looking for?
Just looking at the shop lah. Catching people. then say what is this and that kind of thing, right? So I mean that's what I do every day at home now. I look at iPad.
Oh, so he's not in the shop every day.
He's not really at the shop every day. Yeah, so he wants to travel a little bit more, enjoy life a bit more, but at the same time, still cannot completely let go lah. But still want to see.
How's it different for you with your mom? Because she started the business, so technically not so far removed as say compared to Ernest's grandparents who started it, right? So how does your mom get involved or hands off for now?
My mom slowly like let go. I think last time she's a bit scared. She's scared about us like taking over. But now it's better because once she saw the numbers, right, she's like, okay lah. Okay lah, I want to travel already. I want to go have my own like time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean until now she still come to the shop and help washing the dishes and all that, but not too major. Like she don't really make the major decisions lah.
How do you feel about... So you have a brother as well, right? And he runs his own nasi padang stall, which is kind of like separate from Hjh Maimunah, right? How do you feel about him not being in your business with your sisters?
I mean, honestly, I feel proud for him because for him, like the nasi padang, the people's nasi padang, is more of social mission because I'm very close to my brother. I'm like the closest to my brother. So I know that since young, he loved helping people. So the people's nasi padang is more of like helping ex-convicts to like get back to their feet and have like skills. Yeah, so he did that because he really wants to help people and he is like fulfilling his what he wants lah to do. So we basically we help him and we support him, and also we help supply certain paste so that it's easier for the his staff to work lah.
So it's not like it's in competition. You all don't see yourself as in competition with each
No,
other?
in fact, we supply to him. Like we supply all the paste. If he needs help with certain things, we will help. Yeah.
It's really nice.
I thought you were going to say something else. Is there something that the older generation have taught each of you all that sticks with you today? Like some words of advice on how to run the business that you always like go back to?
For me, my uncles always talk about food quality and making sure that, you know, the recipe doesn't change. No one tries to change the thing. The taste remains the same. He always insists that I try the food all the time, every day. Sometimes I get a bit annoyed. Like I'm busy doing, you know, social media thing, marketing things, which I enjoy a bit more. But at the same time, but I appreciate this, you know, his insistence on the food quality, because I think that's super important. And of course, that's always in my back of my head. When I go down to orders, I always must try the food and make sure that it's okay, right? I think that's something that stayed with me for very long. Until today, he's always telling me and reminding food quality is the most important thing, nothing else.
He's watching the CCTV. He's like, did Ernest eat the pao today?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not even about opening new outlets, you know, growing the numbers, but it's all about the food must be good.
Because people will tell you, right,
Yeah.
if you miss the mark on that one.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes people tell you, but sometimes people don't. They just don't come back. And that's where you lose the customer. So I think that's the scary part, because sometimes people just don't feedback and they just go to another place to eat, right? And use the customer. Yeah.
For me, like my parents always tell us that we need to persevere. We cannot give up and have to continue to move forward. Yeah, so these are the kind of things that I guess like in F&B especially, you are physically and mentally drained. Yeah, but it's something that I feel that it's a fulfilling thing. And also like we want to give back. So whenever we do all this, and we are lucky that we are still continue on with the business, my parents always tell me that whatever that you make, you must give back to the community. Yeah, so I guess that's what we are doing, and my brother also doing lah.
How has social media changed the game for your businesses? Because when your uncle was running it and when your mom was running it, social media wasn't a thing. So now you have people giving reviews, then can stars and whatever. How did that change the way you'll run the business or the way you'll, turn up?
I think we're always on our toes now, right? Making sure, because Singaporean customers are not the easiest to please. Any small thing, right? They can just straight put a 1-star review on Google. It's very quick, right? So we always have to be on our toes and making sure we are always up to mark. And so that's for the review side. And of course, on the social media marketing side, we try to, do content that resonates a bit more with the younger generation via TikTok, Xiaohongshu or Instagram kind of thing. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I mean, we are more active in our marketing now. Last time it's like word of mouth. So now like we want to tap on our younger generation. So you must have TikTok. You must have Instagram and Facebook, everything. You must
compulsory.
Yeah, it's a compulsory thing.
Yeah.
Now, it's not like last time, word of mouth, people will come, then the children will come. No, it's not like that anymore. Yeah.
So my last question for you guys today is, what if the next generation doesn't want to take over the business? Then how? Will you be okay? The silence is like, oh no, you actually was like, oh no, what if it really happens?
So I'm thinking about who's the next generation for myself. I mean, I don't have kids now, so...
Unless you have no choice now. Someone needs to take over.
I mean, we did discuss about succession planning also for even myself and my family. And I mean, we're always open, right? Whether is it us going to continue running the business for the rest of our lives, or is it going to be opportunity to combine together with a larger food group that can scale it beyond Singapore, right? So we're always open. At this point of time, I don't have the definite answer, but if really there's a new generation coming up and they don't want to do food, I think it's perfectly fine. It's not the easiest to do. I think it's getting even harder and harder. I always tell new people who want to start F&B, like, think twice. Yeah.
I mean, for me, same. It's perfectly fine if my niece or nephew or even my kids don't want to take over. I feel that it's not something you can force because they are very different. They're very different now. It's not like us. They are going to like roll their sleeve and be hands on. Yeah. So I mean, as long as the legacy goes on, it doesn't matter lah who takes over.
Thank you very much for coming on the show and sharing your candid insights. Now, that's it from The Usual Place today. And if you're watching this episode on YouTube, like, subscribe, or hit the notification bell to get fresh content. You can also catch The Usual Place on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on the ST app. I'll see you next time.